of that. Which brings me to this part of our discussion, that the entrepreneurial journey is actually an education. That is very, very important for an entrepreneur to be coachable and to have self-awareness, practice emotional intelligence on coachable, and to have self-awareness, practice emotional intelligence on a regular basis. So I would love to bring Mr. Daniel in on this. How important is it for an entrepreneur to have a mindset of being coachable, whether learning from the market or from the customers or going for internship, like Mr. Olajide have said earlier on, and also Ms. Aisha earlier on too. How important is this even in designing an investable business?
Wow, thank you very much. I want to start by thanking Olajide for that in-depth analysis. He literally said everything, but I will just add based on the question that you asked. Business is, like I always say, you keep learning on the job till the very end. There is no time that you stop. There is no such thing. There is no particular time that you stop learning as an entrepreneur. You always keep improving your skills at every given phase that you step into. So it's very paramount to know that from the very first stage of your business, acquiring knowledge is just as important as the business itself. You must ensure at every given stage you acquire knowledge. Even as I'm speaking to you now, we're already planning to attend some short courses and some universities in Nigeria here to improve our entrepreneurial skill, because we're actually growing and expanding in terms of opening more stores within our community. So it's important to know that at the very first stage, you must be teachable. And it's important that you have that mindset, because right now in our generation, we have a quick fix mentality generation. They want it done now. They want to go through the educational or intellectual process first before banking on some of their business ventures. All they want to do is just go in there, get the money, and move on and stuff like that. But that's a very wrong direction to follow. So I think it's key to share my news, and I'll try to share that quickly. The first thing first is that why it is good to have a teachable mindset is because it helps you identify your strengths and your weakness. Now, as an entrepreneur, like I said earlier, Gidicakes is co-run by my wife and myself. But we both identify our individual strengths as owners of the business, and she knows her strength, she knows her weakness. I know my strength, I know my own weakness, and we try to complement each other in various spaces. The same thing with our employees. So, as an entrepreneur, know that I should not, based on the knowledge I've acquired over time from my job as a salesman and even as a consultant and now as an entrepreneur, I've been able to understand that being a business owner, I must ensure that I capitalize on my strength. Now, what is my strength? My strength is sales. I'm a salesman. If you put me in accounting, I'm going to flop. That's not my strength. I don't handle finance. Selling anything to anybody, that is my strength. And how do I know this? By the training process I've been through, even as a salesman. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Even as a salesman, even as a salesman up onto this very moment. And that's because I went through that teachable process from being an intern to being a sales officer to being a sales administrator, all the way to being the assistant national sales manager of the company. I learned through the entire process, and that helped me develop my strength as an entrepreneur. That doesn't mean I did not learn other aspects. I did learn accounting, and a whole lot of other things that I use today. But my ideal strength as an entrepreneur is an area of sales. And I was able to harness that skill over time through my learning phases, as I transited, as I moved from my paid job into being an entrepreneur. So it's very important that you open yourself to knowledge. Wherever you find yourself, online, offline, ensure you open yourself to knowledge. If you're about starting out in business, like Olajide rightly said, go and work as an intern. There is nothing big about it. Sometimes do it for free. All you want to get is the knowledge. If you identify a thriving business within your community, go there and work for free. I remember a particular time I met a boss was actually telling me that before he started his food business back then, when I worked with him, he actually connected with a company to work as an intern. Now, this is a guy that is over 30, a millionaire, going to work as an intern in the company. And I learned how that level of knowledge comes intangible for him being an entrepreneur. And today the business is there. So it's the same process for every entrepreneur. You must be teachable. You must learn from people. I had to learn finance from my wife because she's not good with the financial aspect of the business and the economic aspect of the business, and I had to learn from her. So it's a continuous phase. It's a continuous phase where you keep acquiring knowledge at every given time in your business. There is no clear-cut point where you stop acquiring knowledge as an entrepreneur. And the reason why it's quite good for we Nigerians is because we have a very complex environment. Every new day you're learning something new. And knowledge is not just about book knowledge. You learn from observation, you learn from your customers, you learn from your drivers, you learn from your employees, you learn from the market system, you learn from the economic way. There are a whole lot of ways you can gain knowledge, and you must always be allowed to gain knowledge to transit. I will share something quickly. When we transited from just selling when we came into the cake business, it was quite saturated. There was a huge market for the cake business, but the cake business was very, very saturated. Everybody did virtually everything, but in the process of time, we're able to identify our own niche. And that came through knowledge. We're able to do our research, carry out research, embark on studies, and realize that, okay, there is no market, there is no niche-based market within this sector. And what we did was we decided to focus our business to create cakes for those children. And that was it. That was the one that opened up the business to the community. And over time, we've been able to learn customers' behaviors, consumers' behaviors of mothers who buy from us. And that has helped us to remodel our strategy to accommodate and fit into their particular needs. So literally, we have a community of mothers who are attached to our business based on the knowledge that we had gleaned from those customers over time. So knowledge is not just about reading books or going online to Google information. You must learn from everything that creates information within your vicinity, within your business vicinity. Even your security guard, you must learn from them. All those knowledge are very important for you as an entrepreneur because it helps you remodel, readapt, readjust